Developments this morning. The family of Mallory Beach is back in court with the Parkers Corporation. In 2023, the family reached a $15 million wrongful death settlement with the company. That case stemmed from a 2019 boating crash where an underage intoxicated Paul Murdoch, who bought alcohol at a Parkers store, crashed into a bridge, killing Mallory Beach. Now in a separate case, Parkers is asking a judge to throw out the lawsuit and move it out of Hampton County. The Beach family says the company tried to intimidate them and circulated private information and fake social media posts. Parkers denies it all. In a filing last week, the company says there's no proof it leaked a mediation video, shared photos, or ran a social media campaign. Attorneys say the claims are speculation and argue there's nothing for a jury to decide. A judge has not ruled and no hearing date has been set. Continuing coverage, state forestry officials say the Highway 82 fire in Brantley County is now the most destructive wildfire to homes in Georgia's history. The Forestry Commission director says the fire destroyed 110 homes and damaged 27 more. The fire burned more than 22,000 acres before it was fully contained. Officials say flames reached up to 150 feet and turned into a rare plume-dominated fire. Crews used helicopters, air tankers, and National Guard support with help from across the country. The Georgia Forestry Commission says that fire cost right around $20 million to fight. Officials say the total cost could be even higher when National Guard expenses are included. New this morning, a woman is in critical condition right now after a shooting at a Garden City gas station. Garden City police say their officers were called just before 7 yesterday morning to the Love's gas station on Sunny Purdue Drive. When they arrived, they found a woman inside her car with life-threatening injuries. She was taken to the hospital and remains in critical condition. Police say yesterday afternoon, detectives arrested 29-year-old Ryan Boyd of Rincon. He's charged with attempted murder, aggravated battery, and aggravated assault. We're also learning more today about a Fort Stewart soldier who died during a training exercise in California. The 3rd Infantry Division says Specialist Adrian Bonsi died Wednesday at Fort Irwin's National Training Center. That's in California. The Army says the 29-year-old was hit by a Bradley fighting vehicle during training. Bonsi was a combat engineer assigned to Fort Stewart's 9th Engineer Battalion. He joined the Army in 2023 and deployed to Poland in 2024. The Army says their investigation is now underway. 6:03 on this Friday morning. A great look there off the coast to start your day. Alyssa Carsley's here this morning with your weather on the threes. Alyssa, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ben. We're starting off the day with temperatures back into the mid-70s, still above average for this time of year. And as you're stepping out the door, it's 77 degrees in Richmond Hill, as well as on Hilton Head, to 75 degrees here in Savannah. It's staying warm and muggy this morning, turning hot and humid later on this afternoon. So go ahead and just jump right in that pool. Find a way to cool off and stay cool from today into our weekend as we're tracking the intense heat, but also that intense humidity. As we head throughout the day, we're looking at those feel-like temperatures to climb back into the triple digits, as high as 105 degrees. Outside, that chance of rain that begins to slowly increase, mainly after lunchtime, and continues throughout this evening. Otherwise, we're sitting at 96 degrees for the high today here in Savannah, 97 in a couple of spots like Vidalia, Glenville, Hinesville, Richmond Hill, as well as in Statesboro, and up to 98 degrees for the high in Pembroke. So coming up in just around 10 minutes, we'll talk about that intense summer heat and how it continues through the weekend before the chance of rain increases for early next week.
Alyssa, thank you. Happening now, South Carolina health officials say a new measles case has been confirmed in an adult in Beaufort County. Depending on where you were last week, you may be at some risk. Officials say it's not linked to a previous case from Hampton County. Right now, the patient's vaccination status is unknown and the source of the exposure has not been found. But health officials say you may have been exposed if you were at Publix on Ladies Island or the Dataw Island Community Center last week, or if you were at Beaufort High School's graduation on June 3rd. If you were at those locations, officials say to watch for symptoms now for up to 21 days. Take a look at your screen. State officials want you to report these yellow-legged hornets if you see them flying around. They say the invasive insect can hurt honeybees and other pollinators. Officials say the first sighting in Savannah was confirmed 3 years ago, and efforts are still underway. If it's safe, take a picture and report it so experts can act fast. You can find a link to learn more about them at WSAV.com. WSAV is your local election headquarters, and with just days left until Georgia's U.S. Senate runoff, Congressman Mike Collins is among the candidates making a final campaign swing through the coastal empire. Next week's runoff will decide who faces Democratic incumbent Jon Ossoff in one of the most watched Senate races in the country. WSAV's Genevieve Lund is live at the Chatham County Board of Elections with more. Genevieve, good morning.
Good morning. If you voted in the primary, you now have another decision to make. With Buddy Carter, he won all the major coastal Georgia counties here, leaving more than 51,000 votes now up for grabs between Derek Dooley and Mike Collins as they make their final pushes before the runoff this week. Mike Collins is crisscrossing Georgia in the final days of the campaign with several stops in southeast Georgia today. The runoff comes after no candidate cleared the 50% threshold to win outright. While he did not advance, former Congressman Buddy Carter won major support across coastal Georgia, taking Chatham, Bryan, Effingham, Glynn, and Ware counties with more than half of the vote in each. Those voters could play a key role in the runoff outcome.
1 of 100 instead of 435. And the biggest thing that you can do for the state of Georgia, that I can do, is make sure that I'm also a conduit for the bills that are coming across from the House, especially from our House members in Georgia. We don't have that right now.
Collins finished first in the Republican primary with about 40% of the vote, while former University of Tennessee football coach Derek Dooley secured the second runoff spot with roughly 30%. And Collins is making stops this morning across coastal Georgia, starting with St. Simons at 8 a.m. and moving to Waycross at 10:30. And later this afternoon, he's going to be in Statesboro. And in the meantime, Derek Dooley will be campaigning in the Atlanta metro area, where he's performed strongly for the primary. Reporting here at the Chatham County Board of Elections, Genevieve Lund. Back to you, Ben.
Genevieve, thank you. Meanwhile, on the other side of the aisle, the Democratic incumbent candidate, Senator Jon Ossoff, is teaming up with Tybee Island leaders to push for beach renourishment funding. It comes after Tybee was denied $12 million in federal money, forcing city leaders to look elsewhere for other options. City Manager Brett Bell says the island has relied on the money for years, and some beach areas now have up to 9-foot cliffs. Bell says Senator Ossoff has submitted a request to try to restore the funding. Ossoff says he's also pushing the Army Corps of Engineers for their support. For more information about this year's elections and Tuesday's runoff, go to WSAV.com/electionhq. Following up now, Bullitt County school leaders have officially approved a sole finalist as their new superintendent. The Board of Education unanimously approved Dr. Torian White as the district's next superintendent. White says he's excited to get back to a county where he once served as a principal. He spent the last 7 years as principal at his alma mater, South Effingham High School. White officially takes over on July 1st. Affordable workforce housing continues to be an issue in the Low Country. Now one local hospital is teaming up to help folks have a better chance to live where they work. Shovels went into the ground at Live Well Terrace yesterday, marking the start of a joint project between the town of Bluffton, Beaufort Memorial, and Woda Cooper. 5 buildings will help bridge the affordable housing gap for healthcare professionals in the region. The 120 rental unit complex off of Buckwalter Parkway is designed specifically for attainable housing at 40 to 80% of the average median income for that area.
Well, it means attainable housing for our employees. As we build a new hospital, a new primary care practice, as we grow with the community of Bluffton, we need places for our employees to live and others in the community to live, and this represents a step in that right direction.
It gives us that complete community feel, and it makes Bluffton the leader to make that happen, and I think it gives the other communities the impression that it can be done and it should be done.
The project should be finished and ready to move in by next summer or the fall.